Hey guys, before you watch this video, I just want to say I'm sorry about the audio. I'm not sure what happened with it, but it came out really staticky and very different from normal. So if you're just now checking out the channel, it's not normally like this. I just want to say sorry in advance. And to the review we go. What's up guys, Brett Medlock here. I wanted to do a little quick off-the-cuff review for a game called Reverie that's right now only available on the PlayStation Vita. I believe it's on PC as well, but when it comes to consoles and handhelds, only on PlayStation Vita, which I think is always cool. You know, I love the PlayStation Vita, so I like when it gets its little exclusives, even if they're only timed exclusives, because I do believe this game is coming to PS4 in the near future. But anyway, the game itself, I must say I am completely surprised by how much I'm enjoying it. This is a game that's really inspired by Earthbound and The Legend of Zelda, which I'm sure most of you are fans of, or you can at least appreciate how awesome they are. And when looking at this game, you think it's going to be more like an Earthbound title because of its art style. It's almost like exactly like Earthbound. Like when I started playing, I was like, whoa. How is this not an official Earthbound sequel? Because this looks incredibly similar to Earthbound. But while it looks like Earthbound, it is a lot more like The Legend of Zelda. You're going into temples, you're collecting new items, you're using those items to get puzzles done and stuff like that. The combat is super similar to the top-down Legend of Zelda games, so if you played any of those, this will immediately feel familiar. In terms of what else the game has to offer, there's a total of 6 dungeons that you can fight your way through and do puzzles throughout, and every so often you get into some pretty intense fights with some unique enemies. The story is inspired by a Maui legend. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what it's inspired by, and it's actually really interesting. I won't dive too deep into that because I think it's more interesting if you experience it for the first time without being told. But that's how the 6 dungeons are presented, and that's how your quest begins. I really enjoyed the writing throughout the game. I found myself just going around talking to people to see what they had to say. And not only that, but the exploration aspect was actually really fun. Like whether you're just going through the forest, like collecting items and killing things and trying to figure out what to do next. Or if you just happen to stumble across some like mini games, which actually end up being some of my favorite parts of the game. So I'm walking around the woods and I come up to this house, and little do I know that there's a microwave. That's right, you heard that correctly. There's a microwave that wants to challenge me at some ice hockey. So out of nowhere, I'm playing an ice hockey game within this game, Reverie, and I find myself just having a blast. And not only that, but with the little amount of gameplay mechanics that there are, which is just roll and hit with your sword, I actually found myself having a super intense ice hockey match, which honestly was a really memorable moment for me. And also I want to add, they really implement the rolling mechanic well when it comes to boss fights. In that aspect, it honestly doesn't feel as much like a Zelda game, but bear with me on this one. It feels more similar to a Dark Souls game or something like that because of the dodging and striking mechanics. But don't get me wrong, this game is nothing like Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Just that little aspect of what it reminded me of, because it was actually pretty challenging. There's more arcade games and mini games throughout, but I don't want to spoil anything else. But I must say, I went into this game expecting something a little typical, maybe a little bare, but I came out thinking, wow, they really went all out with this, and I can tell that this game was created with passion, because it was too often that I would come across something that I thought was completely awesome. Lastly, one thing I wanted to add is that the game allows you to collect feathers throughout it, so even if you do beat all 6 dungeons, there's still more stuff to do by going around and collecting all of the feathers and getting all the trophies, which is always fun for trophy hunters out there. If you are a fan of The Legend of Zelda, I think this game is a must-buy. It really reminds me of the classic top-down Zelda games. And also, if you love the art style of Earthbound, I think just walking throughout this game is going to bring back some awesome nostalgic memories for you. So if you love either of those franchises, I highly recommend Reverie, out now on PlayStation Vita, only $13. I think this indie dev deserves some money and some recognition, especially for bringing this little gem to Vita. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been an off-the-cuff review where I don't write it, I just say what I'm thinking and I think what I'm saying. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I will just talk to you guys later.